Alright, so this is just kind of an overview of how Will Work for Food works, what it is, and just a really broad picture of stuff. So the main thing is we have we have obviously the organization, which consists of members, right? It's really bottom heavy. It's really kind of just members. We try and allow members to do as much as they can on their own, without needing to have this bigger hierarchy. So anyway, the members do volunteer work. They do whatever they want, right? So like I do hospital volunteering. Sometimes they also do this like gymnastics things, just this gymnastic thing with kids. Other people, can do bake sales. They can, whatever they want, any type of volunteering. That's the whole point. Then they report the hours that they do, really the activities. Like you record hours, but what counts right now are the activities. We'd like to kind of change that, but I'll get to that later. But right now, if I'm going to do hospital volunteering, no matter how long it is, that is like an activity. I would name it, I would give it a time and stuff. And as of right now, other people can join on to that activity. Again, that's something that we would kind of like to work on, but I'll address that in a separate video. But basically, we have individual members who like to volunteer, and they make events and log it on the website. For each event, they can, but don't always, tell their friends and family that they're doing this event and that they would like to get sponsored. They do that through the website. It sends out an automatic email, right? So then this volunteer member, the member who was doing the volunteer work, hopefully they'll get sponsored by one of their friends or family. They'll say like, oh yeah, totally. Thanks for volunteering. You can, I'll give you $5 for that volunteering effort or whatever, what have you. And then that money goes to us, right? The organization Work for Food. And then we spend it on Plumpy Nut, which is a therapeutic food that Doctors Without Borders uses to treat cases of childhood malnutrition. So just to go over it again super quickly, members do volunteer work, they log those hours, and they tell their friends and family through the website that they're doing this volunteer work, right? Then the friends and family hopefully sponsor them with donations, like they sponsor the volunteer work. They're going to do the volunteer work anyway, but basically they're making a donation to Will Work for Food. We use PayPal, and I think we're going to continue using PayPal. But so they make a donation to Work for Food, and then we make a donation to Doctors Without Borders for a very specific thing, and that specific thing is Plumpy Nut, which, like I said, is this kind of medicine food that really helps malnourished kids kind of recuperate. It's really interesting, actually, if you guys want to look into it. But anyway, it's really awesome, and that's why we pay for it. It really, really, really helps cases where kids would kind of otherwise die of starvation. So, that is probably what we do. Now, I hope that you can see my mouse. If you can't, it should be okay. It's not that complicated of a diagram. Just to go over some of the stuff, if it has a border in red, that means that it is associated with the website, right? So individual members, board members for a chapter, and headquarters all have an online presence in some sort, which I'll go over a little bit more. Black lines means it's just kind of it's like a direction. It doesn't have anything to do with the website, right? A line that is red does have something to do with the website. And a line in green traces where the money is going, right? And then this big black box designates what is technically part of our organization and what is outside of our organization. Now it's all written in text, so you guys can look at it if you can't see the mouse. Anyway, oh yeah, and then the double borders. That means that this person will need some type of administrative privileges on the account or on the website to people usually. Sorry, but yeah, so they'll need some type of privilege to be able to change board members, keep track of the members on the on the chapter's roster, just stuff like that. So yeah, they should be able to change some things that the individual members can't. So starting from the top, this section right here, the section with the 3 black lines that starts with headquarters, that is the hierarchy of work for food. So like I said, it's pretty bottom heavy. It's meant so that the members could really do a whole lot of stuff on their own. But we do have a headquarters for stuff like, trying to talk to businesses, stuff like getting the website together, which is what we're doing right now. Just, really, really big picture stuff. So we only have one of that, right? That is me and 2 other people, actually. Then we have a whole bunch of different chapters. Well, not really a whole bunch, but we have 4 or 5 right now. But we're looking to start a whole bunch more. So it's not a fixed number, I guess is what I'm saying. I only included 1, right? But hypothetically, there could be, 5 little, boxes under headquarters. So yeah, each chapter has board members. If it's affiliated with a university, right? So basically, each chapter is like a group of members. They can be and just happen to be all university affiliated right now. So it's like we have a chapter at, University of Southern California. We have like a chapter in, I don't know, I think Miami. But anyway, so right now, because they're associated with universities, they're also student organizations. So they have like a president and a secretary and a treasurer and stuff. But really, all you need is a founder, and then they can designate other people, to be board members if they want to. But we really don't need that to happen. That said, whatever the board is, that group of people or one person in that group of people needs to be able to do stuff like change the board leadership. Maybe make announcements to everyone in the club or in their chapter, talk to HQ, stuff like that. And again, I'll get into that a little bit more specifically with future videos. Then we have the individual members, right? So individual members are kind of a group, that group being a chapter. So we have a whole bunch of different kind of localized groups, because this is a national organization, so for example, the members in the University of Michigan don't really know the members in the University of South California or Southern California. They don't, or they shouldn't see the same activities, they shouldn't, they don't have the same leadership, so that stuff like that shouldn't, they don't meet at the same time, so they're separate, and they should be kind of separate. And right now on the existing website, what we see as, so I'm a member of the University of Michigan chapter, like I am on headquarters, but I'm also just an individual member. So what I see on the website right now is different from what someone in the University of South California sees on their website, right? So I hope that's kind of clear. So yeah, so the number of chapters needs to be able to change. People have to be able to start new chapters, right? Board members and HQ members have to have somewhat different privileges than individual members. So that kind of covers the hierarchy. Oh yeah, sorry. And each individual member has an account. It's kind of like a Facebook account. I think it's called their profile. Again, I'll get into that more later. But just know that each profile tracks the number of both. It tracks the events that members do. You can sign up through your profile. The website tracks the amount of money that you raise through donations, which I'll get to in a second. And I think I already covered this, but the number of total hours that you do per semester or whatever. The thing is, I don't think it resets, so we're also gonna have to have it reset every semester. So anyway, yeah. So the basic thing that people do is in this organization, the individual members, is volunteer work, right? So first thing I do is this red arrow. I guess the first red arrow would be sign up for a work event, right? So someone makes a work effort, a volunteering thing, then people can sign up for it. So the first thing they would really do, the first imaginary red arrow, which I should have put on here, is that they sign up for an event, right? I guess that's kind of the same as logging hours Yeah, it's the same thing, really. Hypothetically, you would log the hours after you do the event, but we log the hours, like, when you sign up for it. And then, like, once the time of the event has passed, we just count that they've already, we assume that they were honest, and did the event. Usually they're group events, so, we know who went. So anyway, so you log the hours on the website, and then the website tracks, it's like, okay, Luke did 2 more hours this semester, if it was a 2-hour event, right? Then, this part doesn't have to happen, right? And I do volunteering every week, so I'm not going to do this part every week. But I could use the website to send out an email request for sponsorship to, my grandma and grandpa, my, I have a couple of friends who I send it to, and then they can donate if they want to. We call it sponsoring them for their work. But yeah, so then they send money on my behalf to Will Work for Food. That's what this red arrow is, these red arrows. So, you have each individual member doing a work effort, and then if they send out this email that the website helps them generate, then it'll be sent to certain people who they want it to be sent to, like their friends and family. Then their friends and family will donate on their behalf. Then that is logged to the website. And then the website keeps track of, well, first of all, the website is like, okay, thanks for the money, and it puts it in an account. Really, I think we just have it go to PayPal, so it just brings you to PayPal. But anyway, the website also logs, okay, so Luke got $20 extra because, his friends and family all together, donated $20 for this event for Luke Brennan. And I'll go over that in more detail because, yeah, the donation part we're trying to do fairly differently. But that, that's the gist of how it works now. So then website deposits donations into our SOAS account. I think actually we may do that manually, but it does involve the website. Also, I believe the website keeps kind of a running total of how much money we've raised. It does not display it though. Anyway, then we as HQ, our treasurer, donates the money to Doctors Without Borders, but it's earmarked for a Plumpy Nut. So, yeah, that's basically how it works. Anything else? Oh, yeah. So I said that, like you don't do this every time. The reason why is because, actually I may have said this, but anyway. I volunteer every single week. So if I send, this email saying, hey, Luke volunteered, you want to sponsor him? Hey, Luke volunteered, you want to sponsor him? Every single week, people will get really frustrated and not donate. So what a lot of people do now is just send out one event. Sometimes it's even just a fake event, and we'll just say, it's an event called End of the Year Fundraising, right? And we're like, hey, we'll just, because you can edit the email that gets sent out. So we'll just edit it and say, hi, I did 40 hours of community service this semester. Could you, donate however much you feel appropriate or, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you. And so then instead of, just sending them email after email about this stuff, we just send one email per semester, and then they donate, an amount of money, like one kind of grand total, instead of donating a little bit for each work effort. So yeah, that's something that we kind of, we'd like to tie the amount of work they do per semester closer to the amount of money raised a little bit better. But also not be spamming the sponsors with, sponsorship requests. So anyway, I'll get into all that a little bit more later, but yeah, hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of how Work for Food works and how the website ties in. Hopefully you can also see that the website is pretty freaking important to our organization. We can't really set up events, can't really organize very well, we can't keep track of what our members have done without the website, so, it's a pretty big deal. So yeah, cool, I think that should end this video, and I'll put up more very soon.